A very good morning to you, Craftonaut. I thought we'd start straight down on the mat this morning. I'm going to make this lovely bracelet. Just going to wait a minute or so where everybody can join us and then we can get started. We're going to do the lovely Lili bracelet. It's modified right angle weave. It's one of my favorites because it's really easy to do. So sometimes the right angle weave, it will take you quite a while to build up a bracelet because you're going to have to go backwards and forwards on your designs. But with modified right angle weave, you progress along much quicker. We're going to be using these gorgeous 5mm pearls. Now I have tried this pattern with 4mm, which they were too small. I tried them with 6mm pearls as well, but they were too big. So the 5mm pearls are just right. I'm using this gorgeous satin finish. These are, I think they got a little bit of a vintage looking as well. Let me just pop all these strings on my hand, then I can come in and show you. They got this lovely vintage finish to them. They come in 10 different colors on our website. They are really a treat to work with, I have to say. They're really nice quality as well. So they are 5mm. So for your pattern to work, you're gonna need 5mm pearls. Well, you can try it with crystals as well. I have got a bracelet here which I tried with crystals. They're 5mm round crystals as well. It works with that as well. But I think with the pearls, you just get this lovely finish, this really sort of a little bit of a vintage finish, I guess. So let me just pop these pearls to the side. Let's say hello to everybody. So how are we doing this morning? We had a really manic day yesterday. Had a bit of an emergency yesterday afternoon. And we have to rush into the warehouse because the big roller shutter door wouldn't shut down, and we're trying to fix it and we're trying to phone around to get somebody out, but nobody was available. So let me just say hello to you. Hi Helen, Edward, Dean, Sue and Tida, Margaret, Linny, Elaine, Debbie, Jane, Brenda, Nat, Shirley, Camille, Margaret, Marion, Karen, Pauline. Pauline is saying, hi Kitty, I tried to download the instructions, but it says it's waiting payment to send me the file. I'm not really sure what's happening with that. If you look on our Facebook page, we got a category called Facebook tutorials. If you go in there, then it will show you today's one. Just click on it again. Am I not working? I bet it's not working today. Well, I clicked on that one. So in the category, you got your free download, which is showing £0. You have to put in your basket, you have to check out, and then you're going to have, it will be automatically, the system automatically emails it to you. So I'm not sure what's the problem there, which is saying awaiting payment. It might be worth to just sort of send an email into sales quickly, and they will sort anything, will sort it out for you, the guys at the warehouse. So in today's category, we do have some of the bracelets as well. I'll turn them into kits because with these satin pearls, as they look really gorgeous and you have them in so many different colors, what happens is it's quite hard to, oops, the clasp, because the back of my iPad is magnetic, is sticking to it, because they have this really lovely shine on them, which they make them look great. But what happens is really hard to match it up with colors as well, because you think it would sort of like, I thought this is like a seafoamy greeny color, but when I put seafoam green with it, it didn't look right. It just made the pearls look like hazy. So I went with I just did little samples yesterday because I didn't have time to make up the whole bracelets, but I went sort of as emerald green seed beads, and it turns out fantastic. So I love this one. I love this emerald green, and I'm not a greeny person as well. And this is one of my other favorite. I call this rose gold because it's got those lovely rose gold seed beads with them. Oh, the white rose as well. I love these seed beads. They're sort of iridescent, and they have sort of a pinky mauvey color to them, but they have like a little bit of an AB finish as well. Really, really lovely. That's with the white pearls. I did one. This one is lemon chiffon. This one is a really nice summer wear, I guess. Very nice and bright color, but it's not too much. More like a pastel-y one. And then this one, and again, I'm not a brownie person. I call this one blush, but I love this one because the pearls are sort of a bronzy brownie color, and the seed beads I put with it, it's they're like a blush color, I guess. That's the best I can describe them. They have like a tiny, tiny pink in them, but they got sort of a warm, very light brown to them as well. So that's great as well. And this is my blue grey one. Now this, I love this one as well because I'm using matte seed beads. So because we're using matte seed beads, you can see it's really bringing out that shine in the pearls as well. So I think I might be making one of that today. And these are the colors what we launched earlier this year. Again, it's like an olivey bronzy color, really, really lovely color. You got your violet. This is a really nice purple. I love this one. I'm not sure what's the name of it on the website. Let's have a look. Silver Sage, this one's called. It's a really lovely sort of silvery grey color, but it's got like a very hint, or like a hint of a green in there, and with this sort of minky color seed beads that just goes really very well. And then you got your amethysty color. I love this one as well. This is really, I suppose, goes with a lot of things if you want to wear them. Right, let me just see if you got any more comments and we start making. Annie saying, morning Kitty, hope you and Simon managed to have a relaxing night when you got home. Oh yes, we did. I think we just sat down outside on our veranda, and that was it. We didn't sort of, we had like just a little bit of a chill there. I'm going to do this blue one. Shall I do this blue one? But then equally like the rose. But I'm not sure if the rose is going to show up. Which one is showing best up on your screen? So shall we do the blue one? Shall we do the rose gold, or shall we do the blush? Let me know which one you like the best, and I do that one. I think the lemon chiffon would be too sort of wishy-washy out on the screen. Although it's a really lovely color, you won't be able to see it very well. So until you just let me know which color you like the best, and I do that one. And let me just say good morning to Doris, good morning to Annie, Pamela, Angela. Sorry if I miss anybody. Please, I'm just sort of reading out the comments as they come along, but because you're commenting on there, they go past so fast that sometimes I miss some of them. So I will go through the video afterwards and answer any questions if you have missed any of the, if I didn't answer it within the video itself. Just landed and it's gone through, no problem. Great. So obviously if there was a problem, Simon already fixed it. Morning Sheila, morning Lucy, Paula, LJ. Love the white rose, lemon chiffon, purple is lovely. Morning Diana and Tida, Bernie, Diane, Chris, morning Dorothy, Sheila, Rose. Everybody's saying the rose. The rose gold. That's saying blue, rose gold. I think we got a lot of you liking the rose gold in the middle. So shall we do the rose gold? We'll do the rose gold. I think every other one of you like the rose gold. So the rose gold, using these pearls, which are, they are sort of whitish, but they got like a rose pink sheer to them, like a little bit of a shine. So it won't need these ones. I got my the ones which goes with the blue ad, hoping you're going to choose that one because I really want one of those bracelets, but hey ho, I'll make one up later. So we're going to use this lovely pearls. Now you will need a couple of strands. We can buy these separately on our website, but we're going to use it in the kit. All the colors are matched up, all the seed bead colors are matched up, so you can quite easily, you know, you don't have to worry about it. Because even for me, sometimes when I'm working with something like this, it takes a couple of goes to work out the color, because it can be, it's all proportions. So if I just put the, let's just pick something up to show you. Oh yeah, I was gonna do these. So with the bronze one, I really like this coppery color seed beads, and these are like a really, really dark plum, more like a grey color. And I put it next to the bronze pearls, and I thought they matching perfectly. Is going to be a nice and sort of a little bit bright and cheerful, I suppose, piece of jewelry. But when I started to make it up, I didn't like the colors at all. They didn't really go with it, because when you look at it like this, you only see a little bit of the pearls and you see a lot of the colors of the seed beads. But when you actually make the piece up, which when I made it up, you see more of the pearls and less of the seed beads. So this is why, like, you know, you have to sit here and work out the colors and play with it. So in the kits, it's all worked out and you know it's gonna be perfect. Oh, Sarah's on. Morning, Sarah. How are you doing today? She said sorry's a bit late. Andrew's saying, in a magpie, love the teal blue and rose gold. Shall we just, I'm going to take this down just a tiny bit so you can see it better what I'm doing. I really want to show you. This is such a lovely stitch and it's really easy. I know some people do struggle with right angle weave, but this one is just gonna make it even easier. So let me just cut. Oh no, that one is cut, so I can just take our pearls off. That's it. Oh, sorry, wobbling camera. Oh, Sarah's saying she loves the rose gold. Yeah, I think a rose gold is one of the nicest colors. But then they're all nice. It's asking, you know, people when ask me like, what's your favorite project? I always have to say the current one I'm working on, because that's the one I'm most excited and working with. You do have to excuse my nails because I were going to do them yesterday afternoon, but unfortunately I didn't get time. With our little emergency, we had to rush into the warehouse. So I definitely have to do them today or tomorrow. Right, so I threaded my needle. I'm going to leave the bobbin on because I might come back later and have to take off more thread to add the decorations on the top. So I'm working with a couple of arm spans and I doubled it over. I'm going to work right down here with my thread near my bobbin, and I can always reposition my needle to give me more length. So we're going to start by picking up 4 of these lovely 5mm pearls. So just picked up 4 of them. Oh, Susan, morning, Sarah. That's no surprise. So I suppose that's referring to the rose gold. She loves the rose gold. So I'm going to go through. Actually, I'm going to suspend this in my on my finger so you can see it very well. So I got my pearls. What's going on? Let me take a sip of my coffee. I think I'm getting tongue-tied here. So you got your 4 pearls down at the bottom. What's going on? And you're gonna have to go through all 4 of them again. Now you're coming from the tail end and just going through all 4 of them to form a lovely little circle of beads. Now I don't like to work next to my tail, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through the first 2 pearls again another time, and that gives you a really nice and strong base. These pearls got quite a lovely size hole on them, so you can get away with using you got the thread going through them more than once. So that's it. So now we're going to start our modified right angle weave. So if you were doing right angle weave, you would pick up another 3 pearls and go around and come back in the pearls and pick up another 3 and sort of go around in a figure of 8 all the way up and down, sort of forming our base with modified right angle. And after, with normal right angle weave, after you formed your base, let me just pick up this one. Then you would come back and add your decoration beads to the side. So that's sort of extra work and extra time to work things out. With modified right angle weave, what you do, you add your size 8 seed beads as you go along. So I'm going to pick up, just hold this nice and tight. I'm going to pick up 1 size 8 seed bead, and I'm going to pick up 3 of the pearls. 1, 2, 3. Right, and I'm going to locate where my thread is coming out. So if my thread is coming out on the right hand side to me, towards the top, I want to go through my top pearl, but towards the thread where it's coming out of. So I'm forming another loop at the top here. So I'm just going to slightly turn it and then come through that pearl. Don't worry, I'm going to show you a few more times so you can really get it. Now, as I pull it along, we formed another little loop of sort of 4 beads here with the seed bead just right to the side. So then I'm going to take my thread out. I'm going to miss these seed beads I just added and just go to that pearl on the side. Hi LJ, hi Marcia. Just sort of see the comments. I will say hello. Do say hello. It was so amazing yesterday that Sarah was doing the video and you were watching from South Africa, from America, from Australia, from New Zealand, all over the world. It was really amazing to see that with the power of internet that we can be sort of together even though we are thousands of miles apart, I guess. So I picked up another size 8 seed beads and 3 pearls. Again, I'm locating where I'm coming out of my pearl on the side, and I want to go through the top towards the side where I came out from when I'm working on. And I'm going to pull this up, and you're going to see we created another little cluster of beads. Again, I'm going to take my thread to the side. I'm going to miss this seed bead and just go through that pearl. Oh, Jackie's saying, good morning, Kitty, and thanks again for giving your time. Oh, no worries. I love doing these. Again, I'm going to pick up one size 8 seed bead, 3 5mm pearls. And I did try the pattern with 4 and 6mm pearls, but it didn't really work because they weren't the right size for my seed bead. So the 6mm looked a little bit gappy, and 4mm just didn't look right at all. So it's definitely this pattern like this needs 5mm pearls. So I'm just going to keep adding, picking up 1 seed bead and 3 pearls. I'm doing the same stitch over and over, locating where I'm coming out on the side and going through the top beads toward the side I'm working. Do the kits come with thread? It's just giving it as an option, so wondering if we need to get the thread separately. So at Totally Beads, we set sometimes if you need a lot of thread for a project, we set it up that the thread contains the kit contains the thread, but sometimes when you only need a little bit of thread, let's just go into this one. It doesn't. So at the top in the description, it will tell you exactly what the bracelet contains, and here you're gonna get all the beads. And I don't see, add thread and needle 150, there it is. So the kit contains all your beads, it contains your clasp, so it contains 2 strands of your lovely 5mm pearl, it contains your size 11 seed beads, size 8 seed beads, it contains the clasp itself as well. And then if you want to add, you can add thread and needle for 150. And then we'll match the color what's going with that particular project. We set it up this way because like a lot of you already have thread and needle at home and you don't need, you know, I got quite a nice little collection here, and a bobbin of thread, oh gosh, it takes you forever to use up, years to use up. I have some which I had for a long time, because I know Superlon about 10 years ago has changed. They used to have like a little red dot, like a little red line on the inner side of the I'm just trying to look at my bobbin, but I'll show you what I've grabbed for now. I'm sure I got one here. Yes. So they used to have a little red line on the inner side of their spool, and that shows you that this is size D. And in comparison, the thinner size has a little blue line to them. So that's how you can differentiate if it's a D or a double A. So you blue for double A, red for D. But about 10 years ago, they removed this little red line, and the D is just sort of, it hasn't got any lines on it. So now if it's got no lines on it, you know it's a D. If it's got a little blue line on it, you know it's double A for the sizing. And I still got quite a few threads with the red on them, so there's about 72 meters, and it comes in 36 different colors. So you can imagine that. Let me move these size 11s out actually, because we don't actually need them yet. And I just keep rolling them around. That's better. So if you just only need like a couple of meters, it's really just sort of save some money for you, because if they have to add that on the top, then the kits would become more expensive. So, but if I know that you're gonna need like 16, if you do like a coralling project or something where you're gonna need a lot of thread, then I do set it up with the thread included in the kit. Oh, and he's saying, oh heck, another order placed. Oh bless. This is really, really lovely, and it grows quite easily as well. So if you just joined us, I'm going to show you again. Just untwist at the top, pull this to the side, go to that pearl. Right, so each step with right angle weave, we would work from the top, and we do little clusters, sort of figure of 8, all the way going up and up and up. We'd modify, and then you have to come back and add the side beads in. So we'd modify the right angle weave, we're doing the two sort of together at the same time. So I picked up one size 8 and 3 5mm pearls. I'm locating where I'm coming out on the side, and I'm going to go to the top towards the side I'm working on. Pull this up, and then we created our next little cluster. Then I'm going to ignore the seed beads I just added. I'm just going to go to the pearl on the side and repeat the same steps. So that's really easy, right? So it's much easier that with right angle weave, when you have to know which angle you're coming from, if you're going to the left or you're going to the right. This one is pretty straightforward because you're doing the same stitch over and over again, all the way down the length of your bracelet. Oh, Bernie's saying, think I have every color. So this is, we always have this discussion, and quite a few of you asking like, what is the best thread and what you like to use, and who's what. So everybody prefers, I suppose, different things. I know there is Fine Line and Wildfire and all sorts of other threads available out there, which they are really great and really strong and great to work with it, but it only comes in 3 colors. What I love about Supalon, that you have, it's an artificial thread, but it's a synthetic artificial thread, but it comes in 36 different colors. So you can really match the color of the thread to your seed beads. So like here, I'm working with a rose thread, which once we fill the little gaps in on the other side as well, it's really going to disappear because it's pretty much the same color as that seed bead. And if I used, you know, a white one or a smoky color or a black one, it would really show up. And especially if you're using beads where the holes are, where it's see-through beads, like transparent ones, you can really see the threading underneath it. Diane saying, I'm using your thread on the herringbone kit and it seems to be very loose. Right, so that's not the problem with the thread, that's you need to keep a tight tension. So I suppose I have a really tight tension whatever I do, even if I do knitting or crocheting, and I always have to loosen myself up. But if your herringbone is not tight, that is because you're not keeping a tighter tension. So try to hold the whole piece in a different way. I usually, like even here, before I go through the purl, I would lock the thread down between my fingers there, so I won't be able to travel back up until when I pull it tight, and that's when I let it go from my other finger, and then I keep a tighter tension, I guess. And even now, when I'm picking up the beads, you can see I locked the thread down there under my middle finger, and it won't be able to travel back up and loosen up my beadwork. So try to hold the herringbone a little bit differently. And just go through this one. So it does grow quite quickly. I'm just going to add a few more rows, and we're going to turn around and I'll show you how to do. I have to warn you, sorry, it's going to be a little bit longer video today, because obviously when we're doing stitching, it's always takes longer to do a stitch bracelet than to do something with pins and wire, but hey ho. And just keep adding your pearls and seed beads. And he's asking, what size needle do you use that works for most beads, please? So needles, the most I use is size 10, because the most thread I use is Supalon size D. So as I said, Supalon comes in a couple of sizes, D and AA. If I used the AA, I could use it in size 10 needle, but I could go down to size 12. With the D, it's really hard to put a Supalon D into a size 12 needle. It's not impossible, but it's harder because obviously the hole is smaller. So the most needle I use is size 10, and thread I use is Supalon size D. However, I always have a few 12 in my stash, because if I'm doing a pattern where I have to go through the beads again and again, and especially if in my pattern contains size 15 seed beads, because they are the smallest ones. So size 8 is about 3 millimeter, size 11 is about 2 millimeter, and size 15 is about 1.5 millimeter in size. So when I'm using size 15s and have to go back and through the size 15 again and again, then I do go down to size 12. Right, I'm just going to have to cut this strand. We need some more beads. I love working with satin pearls. These are they got such a lovely finish on them. I think I just rolled the last one. Never mind, I might need it later on. And I have to go and fish it out under the table. Take it all off. That's it. Patty's saying it took me a wee while to get used to thread versus fineline, but Kitty is right. Thread dissipates better in projects. I got fineline as well at home, and I use that for sort of bit different projects, but I keep finding myself to come back to Supalon time and time again. So I used to use Nymo. I tried all sorts of different ones, but I keep coming back to Supalon because it's such a it's so many lovely colors, and is really strong as well. Debbie saying, Russian spiral bracelet, I kept my tension tight, but it felt floppy. Does the tubing work? Right, so with Russian spiral as well, you do need to keep a tight tension, but Russian spiral will have a little bit of stretchy in itself. Probably about your bracelet can get up to probably about 5% bigger. So if it's like 20 centimeters, when you stretch it out, it's going to become 21 centimeter, but that is the nature of that stitch. There's nothing you can do with that. Even if you do it tighter, it's still going to have a little bit of stretch in it. I think you're answering each other's questions there as well, which is really great. Jessie's just saying it worked up so quickly so far, means you can get beading done while the tiny person sleeps. I've just ordered the ivory. Oh, lovely. I'm not sure which one project you mean, because it's probably an answer to somebody else's. But this one, I love this stitch because it is much quicker than doing the right angle weave on its own. I think I only need a couple more sets, and then this one will be done as well. And then we're going to have to turn around. Now you don't have to add a second row to your beading, and you could use a smaller clasp. You could do so many, or you can make it into 3 rows as well. You could do so many different variations with this one. It seemed like any other stitch, I guess. It's very nice and easy. So let's just measure this up against our bracelet. So we're gonna need, oh no, I know your bracelet gets a little bit tighter once you made it. Just sort of trying to, I think we need 1 more cluster. So I am just gonna pick up my, I can hear the kids coming and going down on the stairs. It must be break time in school. So I'm gonna pick up one, the same for the last one as well. So 1 size 8 and 3 of these lovely pearls. Oh, come on, jump on my needle, please. And I'm gonna come through that pearl again. And then I'm gonna go up through the side pearl. And what we're gonna have to do here, we're gonna have to move around the other side. So just to finish this stitch, and obviously we're not picking up anything anymore. So without adding any more beads, I'm gonna go through the top pearl and up the other side. And now I'm gonna come back with, I'm gonna turn this around because I always like to work away from myself when I'm pulling the needle. So I'm going to turn my work around and start beading this side. So I'm going to pick up 3 pearls first, and I'm going to go through the same pearl I'm exiting out from to add my first cluster, and just pull this up tight. Now we're gonna, before we add any more, we need to move along through our next pearl. So I'm gonna pick up a size 8 and go through that inner pearl. If I put it down, maybe you can see it, because this is quite crucial where you go from here. But it's, again, it's going to be pattern repeat. Oh yes, you can see it better. Can you see that better if I put it down there? Just move this out of the way so I can pull this up a little bit. So you have these naughty size 11s. I know I shouldn't have put them out yet because they're just going to be in the way. Let's just scoop them all up and put them to the side, because I'm so klutzy I can send anything flying on my desk. So we did our first cluster. Now again, if we were doing normal right angle weave, we would go into top pearl and keep sort of snaking all the way up. With modified right angle weave, we are picking up 1 size 8 and we're going to go through this second. So this was our first inner pearl where we added the cluster, and we're going to go through the second one and pull our thread tight. And then, as you can see, we added our little decoration in there. And then from here, we're just going to pick up 2 pearls, go through the top of the first cluster, and the same one we're just coming out from. Pull this up tight. And then we are in a position again where we're adding the size 8 seed bead. So it's a 1, 2, and the third inner pearl, I guess, or the third pearl on this side from the previous row. And you're just going to keep going along and adding 2 pearls. Oops. Oh, I just flicked them. Please don't roll away. So we're going to add 2 pearls going into the top of the one, top of the cluster we created, and the one we're just coming out from. And then we're going to pick up a size 8 and go through the next pearl on the previous row and keep adding until you get all the way back. Everybody's saying, hi Kitty, I'm struggling trying to make the beaded Christmas tree kit. So the beaded Christmas tree kit is based on right angle weave as well. I would like to do, really would like to do that as a video, a Facebook Live some point, but it takes me probably, well, we're chatting, I guess 3-4 hours to make the whole tree. So I'm gonna have to set up things in different stages, I guess. So I really need to work out how can I, you know, because I don't really want to bore you for 4 hours making this Christmas tree, but I see what we can do, or how we can do it, because I think, you know, 4 hours, it's not a long time to make something small because it looks great, but oh, oops, I picked up 3 pearls and I only should have picked up 2. Will I be able to just go back? Oh yes. So then you need to go back on your pattern. Most often, if you crossed your thread path anywhere, you're gonna have to unthread your needle and go back, like pull your thread back nicely through the beads what you have, the thread path you created. However, what you can do is to go back through with, I always try that first just to sort of make it easier to go back through with the needle itself. But when I'm going back on my thread path, I'm not going with the sharp end of my needle, because then I can pierce the thread there. I'm turning my needle around and I'm going in with the eye first, so that way I can minimize sort of the risk of going through both of the, like going through any of the thread which is underneath there and then getting caught up. So I'm just going to keep adding 2 pearls at the same time and a size 8. Oh, Simon's saying we had some technical problems with the PDF, but it's all sorted now. And just keep adding the 2 pearls, going through the top of the cluster before, and the one you're just coming out from, pull this up and adding a seed bead to step along. And just keep on going until you get down to the other end. It's really nice and easy. It really makes modified right angle weave, really makes right angle weave easy, and that's what I love about it. You can experiment, I guess, with other sizes of seed beads and pearls or crystals, but this pattern, what you're downloading, it only really works with 5mm pearls or crystals, 5mm beads, because it's all the proportion. I actually think, where is my box? I have got a little box here, which is all my old sort of tryouts, I call them. I don't like to call them mistakes, because they're not really mistakes, they just tryouts. So I try different beads or different color combination or anything like that out, and I have them all in a box. And I think the 6mm where I tried that is in there. I should have grabbed it out for you to show you how sort of it bulges out, and I didn't like it, so I went down to the 5 and they're just perfect. And just keep adding the 2 pearls. Doris is asking, is this pattern could be extended for another look? Absolutely. You could keep on going and adding rows as much as you like. Just keep doing the same thing. You would be turning around with your thread and doing exactly the same as you did do on this second row. So you could do 3, 4, well, as many rows as you like. It just creates such a lovely pattern. And that's it. So Simon is saying, if you had any problem with your download and it didn't come through, can you please reorder it on the website, and it will email it to you automatically now because they fixed the system. Diane's saying, yes, it would be nice as a choker as well. And when we add, you can actually leave it like this. So we're going to come and add another row, sort of fill the gaps in here with a size 8. But you could just actually leave it like that. You don't have to decorate the top. I just like to do the little sort of crosses on the top to add a little bit of extra decoration. But if you like the pearls, you could actually just have the pearls themselves. You don't have to decorate the top. That's well, it's your design. It's entirely up to you what you like to do with it. So you could just leave it just like that. See, I think I sewn through the thread here, and if I add, it's just gone underneath. And then just have a look. If I pull this back through, will it come back through? Oh yes. So when I poked my needle through, I went onto this thread, and I one of my thread bands, and I got tangled with it. And if I would have then added that size 8 seed beads, it would have still sat in the gap there, but it would have sat a little bit wonky. And I guess once you put the decoration on the top, you wouldn't really see it that much, but I would know there is a wonky bead underneath it, and it would bug me. Just keep adding your 2 pearls. Oh, can you hear my son talking to granddad? Can you tell them, oh, I'm going to do a Facebook Live. Can you, darling, please keep it quiet and, you know, just keep it down, be good, and be sure, like, he will be good for like 5-10 minutes, and then he forgets what I actually asked him to do. And, yeah, he will come running up and down the stairs. He was like, you know, not shad, but just like talk normal. He's quite loud. I think everybody's quite loud in my family, and you can hear him. Bless him. He's must be on a break from school, because they had the first meeting at 9 this morning already with the teacher. They do it on Zoom. If anyone has as new today, say hi. We'd love to know where you are watching from. Oh yes, so yesterday, this is what I started to tell you, it went crazy. It was fantastic. It was really phenomenal. People were texting in. So if you're new today, please just say hi and say where you are from. Because yesterday we had people in here from Ohio, from like, and then this lady said, oh, hi, I think it was Anita. I'm from Washington. And Sarah was like, got so excited. And she said, oh my God, somebody's watching from the USA. And then it turned out that it was Washington, UK. Bless her. But then people texting from all over the world, from Australia, from New Zealand. We had South Africa as well. Then we had a few from America as well. I can't remember the states. So if you're, Lynette, South Carolina, USA. So if you are new, please say hi and say where you're from so we can read it out, because I think it's so amazing that through Facebook we can inspire so many people from all over the world, and it brings us together. So even though we're thousands of miles apart, I just got to the end there, we are thousands of miles apart, but we are still together and beating together. And it's, you know, as a designer, it just really blows my mind that we can all come together. It's a really nice little beady group here. Sharon's saying Oxfordshire, UK. Everybody's welcoming everybody. Oh, hi, I'm from Finland. That's Kirsty. Nat's saying welcome, Sharon. Elaine is from Cambria, UK, she said, bless her. So yeah, this is such a lovely people here, and we have an amazing group, and everybody's you know, happy to be always happy to see new people, and it's just so amazing that how we can go around the world, you know, when you have some of the, I'm just let me just sort of tell you, I've gone all the way to the top. Now I'm going to turn my beadwork around, and I'm just going to take my needle to the other side, and what I'm going to do, the next step, is just add the seed beads here in the gaps. This is, Doris, where you would add another row if you wanted to, but I'm just going to add another seed bead here to finish this row up, so will look identical to the other side, and just keep adding the size 8 seed bead in every one of those gaps as you go along. Oh, these Jody's here from North Carolina, Kaylee here from Australia. Oh gosh, there's so many of you lovely ladies and gentlemen are here. Oh, Lynette's saying hey neighbours to Jody, so there must be near. Oh, Michelle is from Plymouth. Mina's saying I have been. Oh, the comment is just gone. Oh, there is. I have been here for a while, as I was born in Fiji Islands and moved to Leicester in January 1999. Oh, lovely. I don't know why you would want to leave Fiji with a really nice weather and move to good old rainy England, but hey ho, I came from Hungary as well. So I moved to Hungary. I moved to England from Hungary 20 years ago soon. So I think we counted out with my birthday and sort of the years I've been here. This year, on end of November, I will lived longer in England than I lived in Hungary. How crazy is that? And it took me a few years. I reckon it took me about 5 or 6 years to get used to the weather. I always used to be ice cold, always used to be cold. And now I'm actually all right. I think it took me a few years to get used to sort of the dampness, I think, because in Hungary, even in the summer, even if it's rain, after a couple of hours the rain stops and it's sunny, and even in the winter as well, you get sort of quite a lot of sun and the air is drier, and here is more humid, I guess, so more damp in the winter. And I always used to feel cold. I mean, you can ask my husband. I used to layer up so much that sometimes I would wear 2 socks on top of each other just to sort of keep warm. And like that was like, you know, 20 years ago, and in those days we didn't have these lovely really warm socks like these heat keepers what you can have now. So I used to wear 2 socks on top of each other. Camille is saying, I know how you're feeling, Kitty. I came from Hong Kong and now it's been here for 47 years. I think your home is where your family is. It's just so, you know, wherever you are in the world, if your family is with you, that's your home. So it doesn't matter what country you started out from. As long as you got your family with you, that's your home. So I went all the way to the end. And what we're going to do now is we can start adding our little decoration to the top. So I'm going to I actually haven't got so much thread left on my needle what I threaded. So I'm going to leave this to the side, and I'm going to come back to my tail, unreel again a couple of arm span worth of thread on this end, and thread my needle up and continue adding or continue doing my zigzagging from this thread. So this way, if you left your bobbin at the end, you don't have to join a new thread, because you can go and take more thread from the bobbin and just continue your weave at the top. But let me just go through one more bead here. So if we went all the way to the end, adding your beads, and went through the top pearl there, if you turn your bracelet around, your tail is in exactly the same position, so you can just continue doing your beading from there. So I just threaded my needle, take this all the way down. Right, so I don't like to add seed beads to the corners because it's sort of, they would stick out a little bit. You could leave, as we were saying, you could leave your bracelet just like that because it still makes a really pretty pattern, and those pearls are really high quality as well, and they got this lovely sort of vintage look about them. So you just leave it just like that, or you can add your decoration to the top, your little sort of we're going to zigzag all the way up and zigzag down, but I'm just going to show you that now. So we are right here at the end, and I added the needle through my other end. So I'm just right in the middle. I want to add a size 8 seed bead into here because I don't want these two pearls to close in on each other, and it's just sort of giving like a little bit of structure to your ends there, and go through the next pearl. And then what I'm gonna do, because how we did the stitch, this side, obviously, as we were looping around and going all the way up, this side has got sort of a bit of more thread on there, a bit of more length, so our bracelet could look a little bit wonky. However, if you want to make a necklace, you could, because it would give you a nice curved edge. So I want to straighten my bracelet up first. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to run up all the way along on this edge, because we added the seed beads here on this edge, so that's nice and straight. And here, because you are looping around, your thread is a little bit looser. So I'm just going to run up, going through the pearls and the seed beads all the way along. This shouldn't take long, just go all the way. And as I go up, I just pull it a little bit tighter, just to sort of even up my tension. But you're going backwards and forwards on this bracelet quite a few times, so you're going to be strengthening it quite a bit. And just keep going up. Go through the seed beads and the pearls. It doesn't take long. So all the kits are available on our website, which is totallybeads.co.uk. I have tried this pattern. The pattern you can download today for free. So and that's the other reason I say do share it with your friends and family, your crafty friends especially, because you can only download the pattern free today. However, the pattern does take 5mm pearls. I have tried with 6mm and 4mm and it didn't work. So, and the 5mm is just perfect. So I'm going, all the pearls are available separately on our website as well. So I just went along that side, and that's just straighten up my beading here. Now I'm going to come along the top, and I'm going to add the last missing seed bead on the edge there. So now, apart from the corners, all the way around, I got seed beads between the pearls. Margaret saying, I will be making myself one of these as well as the ring Sarah made yesterday. I have some sterling silver wire. Ooh, that could look really good. I think I got some sterling silver wire somewhere in the cupboard as well. So maybe I really want to have a go at that ring what Sarah made yesterday. So I'm gonna, actually, I might just do that myself. I have some sterling silver wire, some cultured pearls, so we'll be starting after your lovely demo is finished. Thank you so much, Kitty. Yeah, I think I'm going to have a go at that. Yesterday afternoon, I was supposed to have just sort of a little bit of a play afternoon and do a few little samples or little sort of color swatches, I call them, for the video today. And then because we had that emergency, we had to rush out. But I'm dying to try Sarah's video, but I didn't finish. Actually, last night I was down here until 11:15. It was one of those one more row nights again. So I call it a one more row night, when you just say, oh, well, I just do another stitch. I just do one more row. And before you know it, it's 9 o'clock. And then I just do another row. And before you know it, it's 10 o'clock. And you just keep going until like you're absolutely exhausted. And then, actually, I must put it down and go to bed then. Right, so we're going to do the zigzagging on the top. I'm coming out of the top pearl there. I'm going to pick up 2 size 11, 1 size 8 and 2 size 11. And I'm looking at this cluster, this first cluster we made. I'm going to take my thread diagonally across and go through this one, this second one, which is sitting the same way as my first pearl what I'm coming out of, and pull my thread up. Oh, I can hear Christopher coming again. So we just created a little sort of, we stitched our thread in a Z shape here. So we're zigzagging all the way down, and we're gonna come back up and add this on the, add the second half of this, and we're gonna turn it into a little axis. So keep picking up 2 seed beads of size 11, 1 size 8 and 2 size 11, and keep zigzagging down all the way. Now again, you don't have to come back up, and you don't have to add turn it into an X. You can just leave it like half an X, I guess. So as you're coming out of your pearl, diagonally take it across your cluster, the 4 cluster we are working with, and come up through towards the edge of your bracelet on the next pearl, and just keep adding these all the way down. So that's really, you know, it's again nice and easy just to add a little bit of decoration, but add a bit more color to your pearls, and just keep adding. So what I like usually to do, I wrap the bracelet around my fingers just like that. So I'm holding on to the end here, so I always have the pearl I need to go through nice and clear, and I can really easily stitch through it. But again, you need to work out what's the best way for you to hold this, because I always like, you know, try to work out what's the most comfortable or the quickest way to doing it. I like to sort of hold on to it, and I can quite easily. Some people like to work on the mat, so they leave the beadwork on the mat and just work on there. It's entirely up to you. I think if Sarah was doing it, she would be holding it completely different as well. Jodie's asking, what if you run out of thread, how to transition new thread? So I would go along and sew my old thread off with a couple of half hitch knots, sort of one thread knot, called one thread knot as well, and then introduce a new one in the same way and weave it to the position where you need to be. Now don't forget, on the bottom you do have size 8 seed beads and pearls, so they got larger holes, so they can take more thread, so not to worry. You can go back as much as you like, following any thread path, and then weave a new thread on. But what I like to do, I leave the bobbin on there, so when I start my beading, I always leave the bobbin on the end, because once I added my first 2 rows of pearls and size 8 seed beads, then I'm in a position to decorate the top, and usually by that point I'm very close to running out of thread, so I probably got about just over a feet or maybe a little bit more left on the other side. Oops, we just got a little knot here, just pull this through, that's it. So I only got about, yeah, maybe just over a feet there. I like to work with a couple of arm spans, so I'm always working, I guess, away from myself and pulling the needle through, and it's doubled over, so I reposition the needle as I go down in my, so I try to work with as much thread as I can, I guess. But leave the bobbin on there, so then you can take more thread off the bobbin, which I did when I finished our base, to do the decoration on the top, and just continued using that thread, so I didn't have to join a new thread in. And then that one sort of 1 feet which I left on the other side is enough to do our clasp, to attach the clasp. So just keep picking up 2 size 11s, 1 size 8s and 2 size 11s, and just zigzagging your way down. But as you can see, you could just leave it like this, and in fact when you're doing on the other side, you could have your zigzag coming sort of the opposite way, so you create a nice herringbone finish on the top, or you could go in and finish your crosses fully, whichever way you like. So I'm just keep coming through the next purl. I'm almost done. I'm actually thinking that maybe I should I do it with crosses, or should I just do it with, shall we have like a herringbone sort of little arrows on our bracelet? So this is a great thing about when you're making your own jewelry, you can you know, you can put your own creative flair on there and do all sorts of different designs and variations. So maybe if two of you made the same bracelet, it would look very different as well. So don't forget the kits are available on the website. The PDF is free to download. Please do share the video so all your friends and family, especially your crafty fans, can get in on the making and get the PDF free today. It will be go back up to $1.99 tomorrow, so it's only free today. To download, you have to download it, you have to put it in your basket, check out, and then it will be automatically emailed to you, as the system does it by itself. And also, I really, like, you know, I don't want to sort of go on and say, oh, share our video, but we really would like to inspire more people, especially, I think we started these videos, well, not think, we started with these videos through the lockdown, so just sort of give something back to the community, because so many of you lovely ladies supported us over the years at Totally Beads, and just really wanted to do something for everybody who is bored at home. I mean, not necessarily have to come and buy our beads, you got loads of beads at home, especially I got quite a huge stash to use up, just to sort of inspire you. And these videos are just really grown and grown and grown, and oh my gosh, like we got 483 of you watching right now. I mean, it's amazing. I can't believe I'm really sort of over the moon with it. And I get so many lovely pictures back. So many of you are in our group on Totally Beads, and having right, so we got all the way down to the end. So this is how would it look like if we went back and added our sort of second half. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I think I might like this as a chevron style. So if I just pick up one more set, like a herringbone, sort of have one going on one side and just having that one going on the other side, I think that would look really good. So I might go with that one. Jody's asking, is it different for a lefty to do this process? No, it isn't. You just, I guess you would do everything in reverse. So you would probably do your decoration on the other side, but both of the sides are exactly the same. So it doesn't really matter in the end of the day. Right, so I'm going to show you how to do your crosses, but I think I'm going to take it back, and I think we're going to do a nice little chevron, this one, a little bit different to what the instruction says, but hey-ho. This is why these Facebook Lives are great, because we can show you more, I guess, than what you can get in a PDF. So as you're coming out of the last burr, pick up 2 seed beads and go through the size 8. Let me just turn this down so I can hold that thread down. Go through the size 8 seed bead on your last zigzag. Now, it doesn't matter if you're going through it that way, or in fact, you're going through it this way, as long as you keep going through the same way all the way down. I think if I have, so this one I went through vertically, and one of them I know I went through horizontally, this one. So it doesn't matter if you're going through the size 8 that way or you're going through that way, as long as you keep the direction the same all the way down, because you don't want one seed bead to sit this way and the next seed bead to sit the sort of, oh sorry, wobbling camera, the opposite way. So you're just going to take and go through this size 8 and pull this up, and then you are reversing what you did before. You're going to pick up another 2 size 11s and go through this pearl. And when I pull that up tight, you can see we created our little cross here, and you're going to repeat this for every single one of them going all the way down. So pick up 2, go through the size 8 what you already added there, make sure you're going through the same direction as you went through the first time, add another 2 and into that pearl. So you're zigzagging all the way down. The only difference here, instead of picking up the size 8, you are going through the size 8 which is already there. But I'm gonna take this needle off, and actually I'm gonna take this last of the cross off, because a little bit of an experiment to do a chevron design on the top rather than doing the crosses. Oh gosh, we've been here for an hour now. Well, I'll try to hurry up. I don't want to keep you all day. Right, so as we are coming out of here, after finish this last zigzag, we need to get through this side because we want to add our decorations on that side. So you're going to go down through your pearl, and you're just going to weave it around, following any thread path what you have created. So you are coming out of this pearl at the top at the inner side. So I'm going to have to go down and out to this side, and I can come up and around the corner, and we should be in the right position just there. Brilliant. Now let me just take a sip of my coffee. Oh, I was just saying, take your time, Kitty. Oh, lovely. Right, so now we're going to add our decorations to this side. We're going to do exactly the same process. We're going to pick up 2 size 11, 1 size 8, another 2 size 11. And I don't want them sitting that way. I want it to sit that way. So I'm coming at the pearl from the inner side. And then I'm going to take my thread. Let's just take this down. Again, I'm going to cross it over the first little cluster and just come through this pearl. And continue doing the same thing. Oh, so he's saying she would stay all day. Oh, bless. I think my voice would go probably about, I don't know, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I can talk, and I do talk a lot. And then we're just going to keep adding. And as you can see, it creates this really lovely chevron effect at the end there. So this is a variation now what we're doing for what you actually get in the instructions. So you could not do your crosses, but just do a little chevron design. Oh, that's really pretty. But even after you've done your chevron design and you think, oh, well, I'm not really, I think I would prefer the crosses. Don't forget, you can always come back on yourself and add the crosses. Because you can always, anytime in the future, you can come at your pearl and just keep coming back on one side and go back on the other side and just add the crosses if you wish so. So it's nothing lost, nothing is tied down, and it's some more size 8. It's all in the making. So I'm just going to keep adding. I'm going to very quickly whiz down on this side, and then I can show you how to attach the clasp. The clasp we are using is a 2-loop clasp. Just keep adding decoration on the top. Oh, Jack's saying less is more. That's actually so true. I always say that. Sometimes the simplest designs look the most effective. It's really, you know, so we always say, oh, well, it's only a basic strung necklace, or people saying, well, it's only just like, you know, one strand, whatever, you know, necklace or bracelet. But sometimes those one strand necklace or bracelets, very simple, basic stringing, straightforward, like, you know, even to use it with thread or tiger tail or any material you have, looks more effective than the more complicated one what you worked on hours and hours. So I do love it. And sometimes it's really nice to do, like I like to I don't make jewelry for sale because purely I just haven't got the time at all, but I do make bits of pieces for my cousins and friends, and every time we go to Hungary I always take them a pair of earrings or something. I think my cousin Lily, she's got quite, which is actually who this bracelet was named after, because on the website this bracelet called Lily, and I came up with this design just a couple of weeks before her wedding. And we were going out there for her wedding, and I said, oh, what should I call this bracelet? What should I call this bracelet? And I thought, oh, I know what I do. I call it Lily. And she's got a really large collections of the earrings and bits and pieces I made her. But sometimes it's so nice just to sit there and just do something really basic, just turning some loops or creating little clusters, or, you know, even dangly ones or just normal ones. Sometimes it's really nice just to do something what you don't have to think about, something just sort of, you know, you've done it millions of times, and just play. And just play. So what do we think? How this chevron looks? I think it looks really nice and really pretty. But we can turn it into the little crosses as well. That looks nice as well. But it's up to you. But you could do all sorts of different designs on the top as well. You know, all sorts of ways. I'm almost at the end now. Paul is saying pretty. Yes, it's really, and it's a really pretty color as well. It's rose gold. I love rose gold, and I know it's Sarah's favorite, the rose gold, because whenever she's trying to design something, she's asking, well, have you got this and this and this? And then I say yes, and then the next question is going to be, have you got it in rose gold? Because some of our findings do come in rose gold, and some of them just only come like silver and rhodium, or only silver and gold. But we all love rose gold, but this is just the most amazing pearls. These satin pearls look really sort of a vintage looking. Just keep on going here. And adding 2 seed beads of, well, it's not 2 size 11s, 1 size 8s and 2 size 11s, all the way up. So we only got a few more. You do turn it around, to see whichever is the easiest way to hold your bracelet. Because I always sort of flip it over, back and forward. I like to stitch away from myself what's the easiest way for you to hold it. Oh, Jack's saying, I love rose gold. Sarah's saying rose gold all the way. Bless. I don't know how they come up with rose gold, because rose gold is only available in the last, I don't know, a few years. It's not, you will be able to buy silver, and you be able to buy gold, and then they did sort of white gold and all sorts of different materials. But rose gold is only available in the last few, I don't know what actually they add. There must be sort of something red they add to the silver to make it. And maybe some other color as well. Maybe I will look into this. Is there any other gold? Yes. So now Let me just do this last few stitch checks and I'll show you. So now what we stock as well, and Dean actually at the TV, he always laughs at me because I go on about colours and colours of findings and other sort of things what you use with your jewellery, but I think it's so important to match the colour of the finding to the colour of sort of the bracelet or necklace or anything you do. So I got right to the top, and now we're gonna add our clasp. But let me just straighten this up. The only thing with the chevron, what happened here, if we were doing, we would have ended up on the other side, but never mind. We can just weave our thread through. So let me just show you the findings, because, and actually I need to get my clasp out. So I do keep my finding. These are our normal findings, what we use for sort of basic, well not basic, stringing with tiger tail. And we have 6 different colors. So you got your silver right at the top, you got your rhodium, you got this gunmetal black, which is not black, is more like gunmetal. Then you got your rose gold. Then you have your champagne gold, and then you have your bright gold. So when I go through this in a TV, I always say silver, rhodium, black, rose gold, champagne gold, and gold. And then Dean always sort of picks up on it and say, well, what do you mean by gold? Gold is just gold, isn't it? And I'm saying, no, there is different colors of gold we have. So some of them are rose gold, some of them are champagne gold, and then you got the gold, which is just gold. But because you're putting another name in front of the other ones, let's put a name in front of this one as well, and I call it gold. So there you go. So we're going to attach a 2-loop clasp to this. We're going to attach it for the last of the pearls and add a little decoration there as well, sort of hiding those little loops as well. It's really nice and easy process to do. Let me just pop that down and take my needle. So it doesn't matter which pearl you're gonna sew through it first. You're gonna sew either side of that pearl to the clasp. So there is 2 loops on that clasp, and we're gonna go through each of those loops twice. I'm actually gonna start at the end, so I'm gonna take my needle through the seed bead and the pearl, and then I'm gonna pick up 2 seed beads size 11, and I'm gonna go through the loop on my clasp and pull this up. So see, now I'm using a copper color clasp, but I could have easily used a silver. That would have looked nice with it as well, but I think the copper color just sort of matching the rose gold, it just looks a bit nicer. That's why I always say match your clasp to the color you're using. So I went through the loop on the clasp. Now I'm going to come back through both of those seed beads and the pearl itself as well, and just pull this up nice and tight. Now I'm going to pick up another 2 seed bead size 11, and I'm going to come through the same hole, the same loop we just went through just before the other side of that pearl, and pulled up tight. And I'm going to come back through these 2 size 11s, and I'm going to come back through the size 8 as well. Now, because I'm on the other side of that size 8, I'm going to repeat this again, picking up 2 size 11s, but this time I'm sewing into the other hole, the other loop on the clasp. Take this down, hold it nice and strong. Now you can come back, and I'm going back through the 2 size 11 and the pearl itself. And finally, I'm going to pick up my last 3 seed bead and then come through the loop. Aljo is saying my wedding ring is a 14 karat yellow gold with a white gold spinner. It has a Greek minder going through the spinner. Oh, lovely. So just going through the same loop on the clasp, but on the other side of it, and then I'm going to come back through these 2 seed beads. Now I do like to sort of take my thread just back up to the top here, so to go through the pearl, the size 8 and the other pearl, and repeat going through the seed beads again, just to give extra strength to my bracelet, because that's always your weakest point, where you tug it more. And then finally what you would do is, I'm not going to do that this time, but I would go through them again. Finally what you would do is to go through these 2 side, then 11s, 2 times size 11s. You will pick up 1 time size 8 and come down through, just get this tail out of the way, the other 2. I didn't go through the loop on the clasp. All I'm going to do is just to go through these 2 size 11s towards my bracelet and pull this up, and I'm just going to let this size 8 sit on the top of that loop, and with that and I'm going to go straight back up through the other 2 size 11s for the other loop on my clasp and hide that one as well. And when I pull this up tight, we're just going to have these 2 size 8s sitting on the top of the loop. So instead of seeing the loops of the clasp, we just see 2 beads, and that's it. And then you're going to weave your thread around and repeat this on the other side, and with that your bracelet is done. I love this chevron look. I think it will look really pretty as a bracelet as well, but we could equally, even now I could go back and add the other sort of the crosses, other side of the crosses to turn into crosses. It comes in so many different colors. We got 10 different colors of bracelets on the website, so do check it out, totallybeads.co.uk. The pattern is free to download today, so you can go and I'm trying to reach this one, so you can go, and I just made little color swatches of the other ones because I didn't have time to sort of come in and do everything after we got back. It was like gone 7:30 by the time we really got back, and that emerald green as well, it's lovely. So do check out. Let me just turn you around so I can see you as well. And that's it. There we go. Hello, I'm here. So do check out the website. Please share the video so all your crafty friends can get in and download the video as well, free today, because tomorrow it will be something different. Tomorrow it's going to go back to $1.99. And get creating anything you don't forget. The pattern is for 5mm pearls, so even if you just download the free PDF, I know you might have might have loads of seed beads at home, but do get a couple of strands of the 5mm pearls, because it's not going to work with 6s or 4s. I did try it. I don't know where I put that little box. If I find it, I'll put a picture on later on. And then do join some of our groups, or if you are a member of one of our groups on Facebook, do put a little pic in there, because I love to see what you're making, and I love to see, like, if you come up with different decorations for the top as well, how they're gonna look and what you can do. Or you don't have to decorate it all, you can just have it as a little pearl bracelet or necklace or choker, anything you like. So do you have a lovely day. It's going to be me tomorrow. I can't actually remember what we're doing. I left my list, I left my diary in my bag, but I will post it on the events page soon on Facebook, so you can do check it out. I hope you have a lovely day. Sorry this was a little bit longer. We were here for an hour and a half. But hey ho, the weather is not really nice outside, so it looks like it's gonna rain here, so it's better to stay inside anyway. Do you have a lovely day, and I hope to see you tomorrow. I think Sarah is with you on Thursday. If I need to check my diary, it's in my bag. I will post everything on Facebook. I will see you tomorrow. Share the video, please. And yeah, just get everybody, it's really easy to make. It looks complicated, but very easy. Let's everybody crafting. Bye.